Hello folks. So today in this video, let me just tell you how to create a Power BI dashboard over Delta tables that has been created via Azure Databricks. Okay. So first, I have already logged into my Azure portal. In this, I do have a Azure Databricks workspace already created. Upon launching to that workspace, you could see that uh, I have this code snippet is just used to create a Delta table. As you could see, the command create table name using Delta. I have mentioned the provider name as Delta or the location where my data is residing in the data lake. Okay. So once I created the table, it's upon executing the describe extended command, I could easily see the metadata information from the column name and data type and all those things. And in the detailed information section, I am able to see the provider is being marked as Delta, right? So upon counting the number of rows, it is more than 3,500 rows. The Delta table, health tracker process Delta table is of more than 3,500 rows, right? So let's see how the data is actually looking like upon going into the data section. And after choosing my database, the tables are getting loaded. So let me just select my table, and this is the sample data and the schema of the respective table, which is about to getting loaded. So it should be coming. Let's see. Yeah, it has came. So this is the sample data. The data is nothing but a simple health tracker data that an IoT device has emitted. It is having a date column, time column, heart rate, the name, and the device's ID, right? And this is the schema of that particular Delta table. So what we are going to do next is I have opened up my Power BI, and over here, let me click Get Data, and I'll be getting an option, a pop-up with the list of services from which I'll be able to pull up the data into this Power BI. So I'm just selecting Azure Databricks, and after that it will be asking me two options. One is server host name and the HTTP path. Once again, I'm going back to the Azure Databricks workspace, and in the clusters tab and in the advanced options, I'll be able to see an option called JDBC ODBC, and you will be able to get the host name from here. In this JDBC URL, all you need to select this particular host name and go back to your Power BI server, just paste it. And for the HTTP path, go back to the Azure Databricks workspace, and you could simply see the HTTP path over here. And this is another option. You will be able to see the server host name directly over here as well. So you can even copy from here or from here, either approach. So you could also see copy the HTTP path from this connection string as well, right? So for this purpose, after telling the both these options, I'm just copying this HTTP path from here, and I am pasting over here. And even to enable this connection, you need to make sure that the cluster is already running, right? If the cluster is not running in Power BI, you will be getting some kind of exception based on ODBC exception. Okay, so make sure that the cluster is already running. And once you click OK, you'll be asked to authenticate yourself. There are two options. Either you can specify authenticate yourself with the Azure Active Directory account, uh, or you might need to give the personal access account. So if you are the same person who create the cluster and who play over the play over in the Power BI, then you could easily sign in with the same Azure AD account. But in case both are different persons, the general procedure will be that the person who creates the cluster will be giving you the access token which you have created over here. So in the user settings, just go on and click this option, the user settings, and here you will be able to see access token option over here, and you can simply generate a new token by just naming over here and specifying the number of days the token to be valid for the number of days specific. For the demo purpose, let me do it for 30 days, and I'm just clicking generate. And you need to copy this token immediately and you won't be able to get this token again, right? So I'm just copying this token and straight away going back to my Azure Databricks connection portal in Power BI and just pasting it and just click connect. So now the authentication happens, and I'm able to see the Spark session under the server, under the Spark session. I'll be able to see all the databases that has been listed. So for this, in this case, I have only one database and a couple of tables. And let me open up the same table which I have opened up in the Azure Databricks. So once I selected, I'm able to see a preview of this table, and simply I'm just loading the data into Power BI. So it would take a couple of few minutes. Till then, let's wait for a moment. And yeah, it has created a connection model in Power BI, and it should get imported. The number of rows is around. It should be more than 3,500. So let's uh, let's see. Yeah. So it has created a connection string, the host name and the HTTP path. The connections would have got happened. And as you could see, the 3,720 rows has been imported into Power BI. With that, we should be able to create the dashboard or Azure Databricks Delta table that is present, right? So let me just open up the table preview option. Yes, I have a table, and I'm able to see the uh, preview data as well. And let me just whatever it may be, we can even create a new column or quick measure, whatever it may be, we'll be able to do that. So now let me create a quick measure. As I have a heart rate, I'd be able to I wish to select a quick measure as well. So what I'm going to do is, let me just select a column, and in this, let me just select the average of health rate, and let me select the heart rate as well. So within this heart rate category, I create a new measure column, that is average of heart rate, and I just give OK. Now I'll be getting an aggregated column, that is nothing but average average of heart rate. So I'm going back to my dashboard canvas window. So now here, let me just quickly create a card widget and just select the average of heart rate, and I could see the average of heart rate over average heart rate measure. And let me quickly create one particular visual, so to check on the average heart rate by device ID. So let me just move it up to the access side. So as you see, I'm able to see the heart rate by device ID. And once I enable the device, the data label, I could clearly see the device ID over here. And once I completed creating a dashboard with different widgets based on my KPIs and metrics, let me publish this dashboard to my online portal. Before that, let me quickly save my dashboard to my local system as well, and the publish operations begins then and there. So it happens behind the publish operation. And by the way, you need to select the workspace where you need this dashboard to be published in your online Power BI account, and the publish happens in behind. In the meantime, let's open up in the Power BI, I've got Power BI online Power BI account, and let's see how our dashboard looks like over here. Yes, my dashboard has been uploaded to the online Power BI online, and you need to do one more thing while connecting the Delta table from Azure Databricks with Power BI. So I just opened up the respective data set, and as you could see, let me refresh the data. Upon refreshing that, it will upload the latest data into this particular data set. But make sure that you have did one particular thing, right? So you need to make sure that you already have the data source credentials, that has been set over for this particular data set, right? So in this case, you want to change the data set, change the authentication method. You need to update over here, and we already have the authentication key. Now let me give it again, and let me just sign in over this, and the data set has been updated. So you should be able to have your set up your scheduled refresh as well, right? So you can set up a different refresh interval. It should not be it need not be same as the data arrival time to your cluster. The visualization layer is completely independent of your own, so you can set up the scheduled refresh based on your dashboard's need, right? So this is a sample dashboard, and as you could see, I can select based on the device ID and the the specific day how it actually reflects. So based on my selection, I'm able to analyze over my healthcare data from the Delta table present in Azure Databricks via Power BI. Thank you so much, guys.